Hey guys, it's Gunner Deathbridge. If you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm a DIY designer and creator, and if you guys are not new, welcome back. I'm excited to have you. Today I'm doing something I'm really excited about. I am creating a look that I am basing off of a design that I've never seen before. Before we do any of this, I want you guys to like, subscribe this video, hit that little bell at the bottom so that you know when my videos are posted. I want you guys to follow along. Fiverr reached out to me about working together to create a video, and I got really excited about it. And if you don't know what Fiverr is a website that connects creators and projects together so that you guys can create absolute magic. There are so many different creators on there, from illustrators to graphic designers, you name it, there's somebody on there to help you. There's also so many people with incredible experiences from beginner level all the way to advanced level, which means that there are a lot of different budget-friendly options. If you're interested in working with Fiverr to make your project come to life, you can follow this link here, or the link is going to be in the description of the video. You can also use my promo code to get 10% off your order. Use this code here whenever you go to Fiverr's website. I picked 5 incredible fashion illustrators from Fiverr's website. I gave them all the same brief. I said, hey guys, pick your favorite bird. Pick a tropical bird, something colorful, something super cool, and then I want you to design a look based off of that. And then they all sent them to me. I haven't looked at any of them yet. I said, make sure you send me the bird, the name of the bird, and I want to see your look. I want to see how they tie together, and then I'm gonna bring one of them to life. I've never done anything like this. I've definitely recreated other people's things, but I've personally never created something of somebody else's like this. So there's a little bit of pressure, which I do well under pressure, thankfully. I think that I've proven that every time I've been on Project Runway. Really? So this should be no different. I'm just going to have to make it happen. I have about 3 days to make this whole entire thing come to life. So I'm excited to get going on it. Let's look at what the artist sent over and see what I'm working with, because it's a mystery to me and I want to see what we're gonna do. First up is from the artist Alisha Muha, and she chose the bird Tragopan. Whoa, what a cool bird. The feather detail on this is so crazy. The little dots all over the bird. Is this a bill or a beak? That's nuts. Birds are so weird. They're like dinosaurs. Now I'm gonna check out the dress that she designed. Are you serious? What? First of all, talent. Second of all, talent. Oh my gosh. I love that she sketched it on black. I love the makeup in this. The hair, I love these dramatic points. Is this like a shawl thing? Alisha girl, snaps for Alisha. Our next artist is a Studio B, and she chose a dwarf kingfisher. Okay, first of all, this is a cool bird. Like, this is the kind of bird I'm looking for. Like, whoa, color, cool choice. Okay, let's look at the dress. Oh my God. That's rad. Oh my God, this is super cool. It's like a little 80s, and it's like also like super femme. Girl, she came through. This is definitely not something that I would usually think to do, and my brain is like really intrigued by this. I love the cinch to the sleeve, this kind of like bow shape on the sides. I also love that it's like fitted around the top. Like it's almost hugging her with a lot of seams. Wow. Let's move on to our next artist. And our next artist is Roxana Nesventu. She chose a kingfisher. Wow, this is a really pretty kingfisher. Lots of kingfishers today. I love the teal and this kind of rusty color. Gosh, what pretty complementary colors. These would look really pretty in like a velvet or something with a high shine, I think. Let's look at the dress she designed. Velvet, velvet, oh my gosh. This is really cool. How am I gonna choose something? Like, I'm like kind of nervous now. Like, I thought it was gonna be easy and there would be like a clear front runner, but like, oh my gosh. This ruching through the top of this is just like everything. The lacing up in the front of the corset is just so good. The lines of this, it's like 2 different dresses like involved in one. It's really special. This is really, really cool. This just feels so sleek and so clean and so cool. Like, I'm just living for this, honestly. Oh, snaps for you. This is where it's at. Our next artist is Ksenia Gellar, and she chose a pink cockatoo. Okay, bird is super cool. I love this like mohawk of feathers. I'm like familiar with the cockatoo, but this one's really interesting. This red and yellow and orange, like with the little white tips. It's unexpected. It's really interesting. I'm really excited to see what dress she designs off of this, because this color gradient is just so stunning. Let's look at her sketch. Girl, bye. Oh my gosh. Wow. This would be really fun to make. Also, I love this sketch. This is stunning. The model looks gorgeous in it. What a complimentary color palette on her. I love the fringe going down the arms. I love this little like peekaboo of the little like, almost looks like wingtips at the collarbones here. And the little slits coming down the arms, but also the fringe would just lend itself to so much movement. It would be so stunning. Oh my God, and I still have one more sketch to try to look at. Let's move on to our next sketch. This is from Karina Haust. She chose a silver-breasted broadbill. What a cool name, very regal. Okay, very cool bird also. It's got this like nice rusty color and this blue, this like little hint of yellow around the eyes. It looks like it's buffed out beautifully in the makeup world. I'm super curious to see what she's gonna design based off of this bird, because this is a cool bird. Look how short its little tail is. Oh my God. Wow, this is like the epitome of glamour. Like this like corset with the blue boning at the top of it, this black gorgeous bottom, this cascade of the gradient and the ombre. The color palette is so unexpected on this. Also, this sketch is stunning. Oh my God. I am not a sketch artist, so like somebody that can just create something so beautiful like this is so crazy to me. This is talent. This dress would be so good for a pageant. This to me is like the epitome of like high fashion pageant. This would also look incredible on somebody like Zendaya. Oh my gosh. It actually kind of reminds me of that Ralph and Russo dress that I remade that Zendaya wore. This is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Karina girl, you killed this. Okay, so I can only choose one of these dresses and I am almost sweating through my Botox.
Honey, you finally got Botox.
Trying to figure out which one I'm gonna choose. Ugh, okay. My heart is telling me that Nadia's piece is going to be something that's going to challenge me and be fun and weird for me to make. I think it's cool that it's a little 80s. I like that it's like a puffer jacket in the middle bit, a little bit. It's like flowy like women's skirts. This color palette is exciting. I think it could be super fun to work with. I think I'm leaning towards Nadia's. Let's make Nadia's look. We're about to do it. Let's do it. Okay, first up, let's get fabric shopping. Then we'll start making the pattern, then we'll make the dress. Let's make this incredible look. Okay, so we're in mood. As you can tell, I'm gonna get fabrics. There's so many different colors to choose from, like so many different textures. It's like, let's find the right ones. I knew how important the fabrics were going to be to this specific look, so I wanted to come somewhere like Mood that has so many different color varieties and different fabric options, so I could really nail the color palette, which I think we did. These chiffons are going to bleed beautifully into each other. I'm going to do multiple layers of them in the skirt, and then I found the perfect blue that I'm going to overlay with an iridescent organza. One of the big reasons I was attracted to making this look were the amount of seams that were on there. I love when seams line up, so I really laid these out on my dress form using some painter's tape. There is a different kind of tape that you can use for this, but this is what I had handy. Then I could go ahead and start making my pattern. I used a cotton muslin and I draped it over the dress form so that I could get my lines laid out really perfectly. Afterwards, I started drawing them on there with a pencil. I always make sure to kind of label what the pattern pieces are too as I'm drawing them, because I don't want to get confused. And when you're doing a dress like this with so many pattern pieces, it's very easy to get confused. Afterwards, it was time to perfect the pattern on my table using my ruler, and then I could go ahead and begin cutting out my pattern pieces. This actually took a lot longer than I would like to admit, but I did get some really pretty shots for you to hold you over. Once everything's cut out, I can then start assembling the jacket. I actually have to create this puffer effect using some of the yellow fabric, and I bought some batting from Joann that I'm going to kind of peel off layer by layer, and then I'm just going to sandwich it in between two of the yellow outerwear pieces, and then I can begin stitching them together to kind of create this puffer effect. After I started working on the puffer part of the jacket, then I could begin assembling the other pieces of the jacket. My course of action was really to start going section by section. This is basically a color blocked jacket. So after I got the yellow ready to go, I can start working on the orange at the top that's going to hug the shoulders, and then a little bit of the yellow right below it, as well as the stripes. I think that taking my time on this and making sure everything lines up is the most important part of this process. Also, you better believe I put the iron to work on this jacket, because all of these seams need to be pressed so flat and so beautiful. After I had all of my pieces ready to sew together, I went ahead and started working on the bead work that's going to be on the puffer part of the jacket, which I thought was super innovative. I found these little glass fluorescent pink beads that I'm going to stitch onto the jacket in this little bit of like a dispersed effect. I just kind of went under the first layer and kind of worked my way around and kind of made it feel organic, just kind of like the pattern on the Kingfisher. The sleeves were definitely tricky on this jacket because I wanted to make sure that they had some volume, and the gathering on the edge of the sleeve was really important to the sketch. So I used a little bit of tracing paper here and just kind of went through with my rotary wheel to mark out where I was going to stitch. This line is where I'm going to do a gather stitch so that I can really get the volume at the elbow of the sleeve. I'm also probably going to add a piece of boning there to help support that kind of J shape that happens in the sketch, because I think it's really important to the overall effect and aesthetic of the jacket. Now I'm going to work on the peplums, and I used a silk taffeta. I don't know why, it's rolling. I'm hoping that when I sew it together that it doesn't look like a hot mess. So let's see what happens. So here's a little update. The peplum turned out fine, and then I could move on to the collar, which I used a silk file for because I wanted a lot of structure. I think this will make it feel super regal. It also kind of feels like a little bit of the bird, which is fun. I also managed to find an invisible zipper that kind of was in the similar color yellow. I do have to adjust the size of it, so in order to do that, I need to stick my measuring tape inside of the jacket where the zipper is going to go to get an exact measurement, and then I can also measure on the zipper so I can mark that as well. After I've marked where the placement's going to be, I can then remove a few of the teeth right there, and I'm going to use a pair of small pliers to do so. I think there's actually a zipper tool for this, but I don't own one. I've always just used some pliers. And after I've removed 4 or 5 of the teeth from this little section, I can then also remove the stopper from the top of the zipper and then open that stopper up and reapply it to the bottom of the zipper, because once your zipper lands off the tracks, it's no use. Now that I have my zipper in the exact measurement I need, I can then begin stitching it into the front of the jacket. I did use my zipper foot for this. It's just a small narrow one so you can get right up next to the zipper when you need to and have a really close stitch. After the jacket was finished out, I can start working on the skirt, which is going to have multiple layers of chiffon. We're starting with the yellow, going to work our way up into the orange, then into like a fuchsia, and then into like this like deep magenta-y fuchsia. I think it's going to be really gorgeous. I tried to do some gathering, but I ended up really liking the pleating effect because I think once I pressed them, it felt a little bit more like the feathers and the structural bits in the sketch. So I decided to pleat every layer, which definitely took longer, but once I did create a pleat, I laid them out on the ironing board, and then I pleated them at the top and pinned it in, and then I would create the counter tension at the bottom so that I could have a really nice straight line. Then I would spray it with a spray starch, which I know sounds kind of crazy, but I wanted these to really hold the shape and have kind of a crispy pleated effect. So I would just kind of press the iron on there and it evaporated it really beautifully. It didn't make them hard or crunchy, but it really kind of defined the pleat, which I think was really important. After the look was finished, I had my model friend Camille come over and I got her ready to go. If you didn't know, I also have a background in cosmetology, so I love doing the hair and makeup on photo shoots, although the hair is definitely my favorite part. I usually have a makeup artist, but this was a super quick turnaround, but it's also nice to work with people that are excited to help bring a vision to life. So we got her hair and her makeup all ready to go. We were definitely going for the little bit of like David Bowie 80s with the makeup, so I did this kind of like Pat Benatar meets David Bowie blush that meets on the cheekbones, and it was really complimentary to the jacket. And here is what the finished outfit looks like. I am so in love with all of these colors. It's so rich and beautiful, and the movement of that skirt next to the structure of the jacket. This is not typically where my design aesthetic lays, but that's why I loved this challenge so much. I really hope that I've made Nadia proud with this interpretation of her incredible sketch. I think as a designer, it is so important to challenge yourself and take chances, and that's exactly what this look was for me. If you want to check out any of the artists' work from this video, I have linked their Fiverr pages as well as their Instagrams. Go show them some love. I've also linked my social medias if you would like to check them out as well.